Hi everyone, as you are watching this video today, I should be on my honeymoon. Rich and I are going to South Africa. I am so excited. I actually think whilst you're watching this, I'm probably nearly home. But I wanted to do some kind of travel related video, and I looked back on my channel and I don't think I've done a video before on how to survive a long haul flight. The flight from London to South Africa is 11 hours, I think, around that time. And as you might know if you've seen my video, I am not a great flyer. I have a bit of a fear of flying. It's maybe not the most stereotypical type of fear of flying, but I'm going to link the video at the top if you want to go watch that and find out more about what I'm scared about and why I don't like flying. But I said in that video that I would never ever let my fear stop me from traveling the world. It's something I love doing. I've been very lucky to be able to visit so many countries around the world, and I've been on long haul flights my whole life, even when I was a little kid. So I'm used to them. I still don't like them, but I feel like now, like when you're a kid, your mum just kind of does it all. But now as an adult, I've really come up with a routine and a way to get through these long flights. If you've never been on a long haul flight before, this video might be helpful for you. Or if you go on long haul flights, but you feel like you just kind of rock up and figure it out as you go, maybe this might be interesting to hear my routine. I have tried both ways. I've tried just kind of rocking up and going with the flow, but I find that having this sort of routine and the prep really makes me feel calmer. It makes me feel happier. I know I'm making it sound like a big deal, but sitting down in an environment like it is in a plane for 11 hours is a big deal. It's a big deal on your mental state, but also on your physical state. It's just not a normal thing to do. I find it really hard to wrap my head around it, but I think I've kind of come up with a way to deal with it. There are always still moments on the flight that I don't enjoy, but for me, it's all about the prep and having these steps to just get me through the 11 hours. So I've put this into sections, and I'm gonna start with pre-flight. So the main kind of theme running through this whole video is to just be organized. I like to pick out my outfit, a few days before I fly, just so I know exactly what I need to wear and I don't wake up on the day in a panic and get confused with what I've packed and what I haven't packed. I'll have a flying outfit, and I normally wear the same thing on the flight home. I like to wear really comfy clothes. If you're the sort of person that doesn't want to wear tracksuit bottoms or leggings in an airport, then take a change of clothes and change on the plane, but I personally don't mind rocking up at an airport with no makeup on and tracksuit bottoms. I like to be comfy. You're going to be sitting down for 11 hours, so be comfortable. No one cares what you look like. It's not a fashion show. Wear what you feel most comfortable in. I like to write a hand luggage packing list. I'm not going to tell you guys what to pack in your hand luggage because I think it's different for everyone, but I really recommend writing a list because then it's not like a mad panic of what to pack in your backpack or in your handbag, and it means you're less likely to forget something. Like the worst thing that could happen is you sit on the plane and you've forgotten your favorite headphones or your phone or your keys or something, your passport. So write a list any way you like, digitally or on like the reminders app, or just write it on a pad of paper and tick things off as you've packed them in. I like to start packing my hand luggage ahead of time, but there's always things you have to put in last minute on the day. I always like to download the app for the airline I'm flying with. For me, it's usually British Airways or Virgin. I download the app and I check in using the app. It makes it so easy. It means you're less panicked. The plane's not going to go without you. You've checked in already online. You've got your seat. You know where you're sitting. I always like to have a window seat. And it also means that you get your boarding pass on your phone. I don't know about you guys. I always have my phone in my hand. So it's so easy just to scan it and not have to worry about papers and boarding passes and printing things off. You've just got it there on your phone, and it makes me feel so at ease and organized. Finally, for pre-flight prep, download any films, TV shows, or podcasts that you think you'll want to listen to on the journey to the airport or on the flight itself. I think this is really important. I often check online with the airline that I'm flying to see what films they're showing on the in-flight entertainment, and then make sure I don't download the same ones. But I think I always like to have some on my iPad or phone or whatever, just in case, like once my in-flight entertainment was broken, or they don't always let you watch it on takeoff and landing. And I think now you can watch iPads and stuff on takeoff and landing, so it's a nice distraction. It's just good to have extra stuff, really. Podcasts are great if you're trying to fall asleep. And I also like to have a few films and TV shows for when I'm actually away, in case we stay in one night or, I don't know, you have a lot of time to wait at the airport. When I get to the airport, the first thing I do is check in and go through to security. I like to check in straight away so I know it's done. You never know how long the queue will be. There's no point faffing about, and I always like to get straight through security. All the best shops and restaurants are always through security. At least then you know you've done the hard bit and you've got past the queues and you're less likely to be delayed. So that is the first thing I do. I just go straight through. Then I like to stock up on supplies, and it's the first thing I do so I know I can just get it out of the way, and then I can relax and start kind of getting into the zone of flying. So on my list of things to get is a magazine, chewing gum, sweets, snacks, and a big bottle of water. I like to have a magazine, not so much because I read magazines all the time. This one is Sunday Girl, but for me it's a distraction on takeoff or maybe landing. I know now you can watch films and listen to music, but I can't really do anything that needs me to concentrate because I won't be concentrating. I'll be freaking out about the fact that I'm taking off. So I like to just kind of have something to look at. I'll have music on. I normally listen to James Taylor because it calms me. And I just need a magazine to stare at, to look at pictures. Nothing I need to concentrate on, just something as a distraction from taking off. So that is what the magazine is for. This one is a really good like handbag size. Chewing gum is an important one for me, just a good way of staying fresh. You do sometimes get a toothbrush on the flight, but to save you having to go and brush your teeth all the time, this is just something you can have whenever you need it. And also it helps me with my ears if they're popping on landing. Sweets, pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes I need a bit of sugar to get me through. You never know what food you're gonna get on the plane, and I just like having some like home comforts with me, and it's a treat, you know. I don't eat sweets all the time, but it's something, for me, like having snacks with me stops the panic feeling. I hate plain food, so the fear of being hungry, or I just like knowing I've got something if I need it. These little packs of almonds from M&S are great. Something a bit healthier, a bit more filling, so I'll throw those in as well. And then I usually get either salt popcorn or like salt and vinegar crisps. Again, not something I eat all the time, but I find that when I'm in the air, my taste buds become really, they kind of just like disappear. I need really strong flavors. So something really vinegary or salty, I find really helpful, like something salty and vinegary and something sweet as well. Gives you a bit of flavor. And then water is really important. You can also take a water bottle and then they can just fill it up for you. I love Evian, so I actually normally get the bigger bottle than this and just take a huge one on. Then I don't have to worry about asking for water all the time. And I know I've just got like my favorite water with me. So after I've stocked up on all of my supplies, I tend to not really shop much in the airport. I'm going away anyway, so I don't really want to like take any shopping with me. I'll normally find somewhere nice to sit and relax, get in the zone, get prepped. I don't like to get to the airport too early, but I also don't want to be rushed. So I normally time it quite well that I don't have too long to wait, but I've got enough time to get everything I need. If you can, it's really great to eat a good meal before a flight. I think it's Heathrow where there's a Wagamama, and I once had a Wagamama before a flight and I felt so great because I'd had like a proper good solid meal. As I said, I don't really like plain food. I try and eat it, but it's never going to be as satisfying as a meal from a restaurant you love. So if you can, have a meal before the flight. And that's kind of everything I do at the airport. I'll go to the gate as soon as it's called, and yeah, that's about it. So once you've gone through to the gate and got onto the plane and found your seat, I like to use this like pre-takeoff time to get settled and make it my own little home. You're going to be on this flight for 11 hours, so it's okay to kind of settle in and get used to your surroundings and make it homey. I always get a few like strange looks from people when I'm clearly like have my own little routine, but I don't care. I just want to make this flight enjoyable for me. I separate the stuff that I need access to and the stuff that I don't need access to. And if I don't need it, I'll just put it in the overhead locker. Things like my shoes, I'll just put up there. And anything I do need, I'll put in the kind of section in front of me, or it depends on like which class you're flying with and stuff and how much space you have. I always wear flight socks. I always have. My mum has always told me to. I'm on the pill, so it's pretty important. But I think even if you're not, for a really long flight, like 11 hours, it's quite a good idea to prevent any blood clots or anything like that. These are just black ones. I got them from Boots. So I put those on. Don't ever try to put these on when you're wearing jeans. It's very hard because they go all the way up to your knee. But I put those on. They feel really tight, but you get used to them. And then on top of those, I like to put on some comfy socks because flight socks are pretty thin, so they don't feel cozy or comfy. And I want to feel cozy and comfy on this flight. So I put on my like White Company cashmere socks, or just like slipper socks, any sort of thick socks you have to go on top. I tend to just have my shoes off for the whole flight, so I'll put them in the overhead locker. Yes, going to the toilet is a bit hard, and I have done it in the past in my socks and it's been a bit gross, but honestly, I don't tend to go to the toilet that much on a flight because I hate the toilets on a plane. If I do go, I can always get my shoes down from the overhead locker. If I've brought a hoodie with me, I'll put that on and just generally just get comfy. I make sure my iPad and my headphones and everything's easy to access, my magazine. And then the next thing I do, which I think is so important for jet lag, if you're going somewhere that has a different time zone, change the time on your watch immediately. If you start getting in the mindset of this new time zone, it will really help with the jet lag. If it's 1 p.m. in the UK and you're thinking, oh, it's lunchtime, but it's actually 8 p.m. where you're going and it's dinner time, treat your next meal like it's dinner. Just start getting into that time zone mind, and I think it makes such a difference. Just before takeoff, for me, like when the engine starts, I start getting a little bit anxious, but just find your happy place. For some people, for my mum, it's asleep. She'll just fall asleep immediately before takeoff, and that is her happy place. For some people, it might be reading a book or magazine or listening to music or watching a TV show, but don't be afraid to kind of get sorted before takeoff. You don't want to be like trying to get your iPad and headphones in whilst you're taking off. So just get settled, get into your happy place and like be prepared. I've always used noise cancelling headphones on a flight because for obvious reasons, they get rid of that horrible plane sound that I just find makes me nervous, it's loud and irritating, and it completely cuts that out. But I recently invested in some Bose noise cancelling headphones. It was a Christmas present to myself and I absolutely love them. They are quite large, they come in this case, but they are incredible. These are the Bluetooth ones, so you don't need to connect them to any sort of wires, you don't have to plug them in, but you can if you want to, if you run out of charge. They are so amazing at cancelling out any background noise. They look like this in the case. They're comfortable on the ears, and you literally just can't hear anything. It's so clever, I don't even know how it works, but it does work. And you can just get into your own little zone, and that's what I find works best on a flight for me, just getting into my own zone. If I'm traveling with someone else, then every now and again I like to kind of chat with them and it breaks up the flight a bit, but for most of the time, most of the flight, I'm just in my own zone, and these really help with that. Because they're over the ear, it's a bit annoying when you're sleeping. Actually, I just bought a neck pillow. I didn't add this into the video because I literally bought it yesterday. Fleur recommended one. And it's a really good neck pillow. I don't normally use them because I find that you get a sore neck anyway, but this is the memory foam one that's so big, you literally can't move your head. So I wasn't gonna put that in, but I'm gonna link that down below because I think that will really help with the headphone situation and with the neck sleeping situation. So you've taken off, you survived, it's never as bad as you think it's gonna be, you're up in the air, and I like to use this time to plan out my flight a little bit. You've got a long way to go, so don't watch all your favorite films in the first hour. Don't like keep flicking. I like to kind of think in my head, like I've got 11 hours. Like how many films is that? I can watch like 3 or 4 films, a few episodes of this TV show. I like to look at what's on the in-flight entertainment and kind of work it out from there. Make sure I get enough sleep time in, like I'm quite strict. I should go to sleep at this time and sleep till then. Maybe I should take a sleeping pill to help with that. What time are we gonna get served food? Do I wanna be awake for that? If not, maybe I should tell them not to disturb me. Do I need an extra pillow? It's okay to ask the air hostess for an extra pillow if you think it's gonna make you more comfortable, or another blanket if you're cold. I like to just kind of plan out, it's like planning your day. What am I going to do over the next 11 hours? Like the worst thing on a long haul flight is when you're looking at your watch and you're like, oh my God, it's been 2 hours. I have so much longer to go. Like try not to look at your watch, and watching films is a massive help because they're normally quite long anyway. I know everyone says it, but it's really important to drink more water than usual. I mean, I'm a bit rubbish with drinking water at the best of times, but I really try and force myself to drink more on a flight. The aircon, the fact that you're up so high, you do get more dehydrated than you would normally. So try and remember that, because the dehydration won't help with the jet lag. It won't help your skin. You won't feel good. It's just generally bad for you. So drink lots of water. If you didn't bring your own water onto the flight, then just ask for the air hostess to bring you water. Ask as many times as you like. That is their job, they don't mind. Get up and walk around. I think it's easy to forget, and I do it as well, that it's not normal to sit down for 11 hours. Imagine sitting on your sofa for 11 hours without standing up. It's just not normal. So get up and walk around. And I know it's a bit like embarrassing because everyone looks at you. I sometimes get up and do some like stretches and I get the weirdest looks ever. But sometimes other people stand up and do it too. Do a bit of walking around if you can. Just move your legs around, like put your arms in the air and stretch, and like do some neck exercises. It does feel good. I do like to take some beauty products on with me on the flight. I don't do like a whole routine. I normally just don't wear makeup in the first place. If I do wear makeup, then I'll take it off using like face wipes or something, or a bit of Bioderma and cotton wool. But it's something to look forward to. I do it for 2 reasons. One, because I think my skin needs it because of the dehydration, but 2, it's something to look forward to. It's something to do. It's something to pass the time. I've definitely inherited this from my mum. She's always done it. People always give her weird looks, but I don't care, it works. Something I think is an essential is a hand cream. This one is from This Works, and I picked this one because it smells like a spa. Anything that smells nice, I'm sorry for the people around me. Hopefully they won't hate it because it's a nice smell, but just to get rid of that, I hate the smell of planes and the smell of plain food. So this is a lovely like spa, fresh smelling hand cream. And I'll put that on like every couple of hours just to keep my hands hydrated. You can kind of put it on anywhere really, it's just a moisturizer. I have this travel size Omorovitska Queen of Hungary mist which I kind of just take because I've got it and it's kind of running out, so I should use it up anyway. It's just a nice mist if you want to use that every now and again. But the best product I find for my skin is the Sarah Chapman Overnight Facial, and this is a really cute mini I got in a travel set, and I think oils are great. I used to do face masks, but I actually think oils work better. They're so hydrating. I just put a couple of kind of squirts on my hand and just rub it into my skin, and I'll reapply that on an 11-hour flight probably 3 or 4 times. And then the final product is the This Works Stress Check Breathe-In. This has replaced the Stress Less Rollerball that I used to always talk about, and this is more just if I'm feeling nervous or anxious. It's a really calming smell. You can roll it onto your wrists or behind your ears, on your temples. Again, it just reminds me to be in my own little zone, my own little spa seat. It just smells like nice things. I also have these little stress relief eye masks from Estee Lauder. I don't always use these, but again, it's a nice treat. My under eye area gets really dry, so it's really good to just hydrate that. Most of this flight from London, South Africa and back will probably be sleeping for me because it's an overnight flight. I'm really scared of overnight flights just because I find that everything's really dark, all the lights are off, everyone's really quiet, and I feel really like detached from everyone and quite lonely, honestly, but sleeping does pass the time. So I will try and sleep as much as possible. Some people like to freshen up before landing. I don't always do this because I know that when I get there, I'm just gonna head to my hotel and sleep or shower or something. But if you would like to, again, it's something nice to look forward to. You can go and change into a fresh pair of clothes. You can change your underwear. You can get into a new pair of leggings, whatever you want. It's quite nice to go and like brush your teeth. That's something I actually always do. I'll go and brush my teeth in the toilet. 11 hours without brushing your teeth is gross. Well, I guess you would do that in the day, but I don't know, it makes you feel good, especially if you've been sleeping on a night flight. You wake up with like morning breath. Go and brush your teeth, freshen up in the toilet. I always like to do this like maybe an hour before landing. And that's kind of everything. That's my 11-hour long haul flight survival tips and my little routine that I've kind of figured out along the way. I'm 30 this year, so it's taken me a while. I've been traveling my whole life. But as I said, you don't really start thinking about these things until you're about 17, 18 and you start flying alone. And it all becomes a bit crazy, and I've had some not great experiences on a long haul flight, and then I've had some that have been amazing. So for me, this is just how I get through it. And if you haven't been on a long haul flight before, don't be scared. It's such a privilege to be able to fly across the world to visit a country you've never been to. You just have to get through the flight and then you know you're going to be in an amazing place. And I can't wait to tell you guys all about South Africa. I think it's going to be such an amazing, memorable trip. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful. Please let me know if it was, and if you have any other tips that I didn't mention in this video. See you guys in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you soon. Bye.